How's it going, everybody? I am Donut. This is, of course, a Black Lives Matter, all cops are bastards, and trans rights supporting channel. If you're not supporting that shit, why the fuck are you on this channel? Get the hell out of here. This is Broad City Season 3, Episode 7, B&B-NYC. So I assume this is going to be like an Airbnb sort of thing, but, you know, they're making it their own thing for the series. That's my guess. Otherwise, B&B-NYC, I mean, it could just be them staying at another bed and breakfast, or like just at a bed and breakfast in New York. I don't know why that would be interesting, but yeah, and if it was the Airbnb sort of thing, whose apartment would it be? Alana's, or, I mean, it definitely wouldn't be Abby's, right? So I guess it would have to be Alana's. That's my guess. If that is what it's gonna be. If you want to see the full length, check it out in the description below. Full length is $4. The edited is for everybody. You know how it goes at this point. Why am I even saying this? Alright, this was a much needed episode. I have been saying this season has been a little bit lackluster, and this one took it home. Oh baby. Like, extremely funny while also being a very wholesome episode. There was no twist to Trey or to Blake Griffin. There was just, you know, they just got to have a nice night. Like, Abby's apartment got robbed, sure, and, you know, she's not gonna, but I assume the money that Alana's gonna get will probably help cover that, and again, they'll probably be at a net zero after all this is said and done. But that's better than them being in debt, which is what I thought was gonna happen by the end of this episode. And yeah, like, the Asian couple was just a, you know, or the Japanese couple, they were, like, yeah, I thought, like, you know, maybe it was gonna be a twist there or something like that, but no, that was a good twist. They just got super hot guitar time, hot box down the whole room. Oh, that is amazing. Especially because of how highly decriminalized marijuana is in Japan, where you can go to, like, I mean, you still go to jail for many years here with it, but it is much worse over there. It's terrible. But, so, that's cool. Again, very wholesome. I really love it. And again, the Alana and the Blake Griffin thing is, like, I am very, how do I put this? I don't like talking about it because it's hard to describe. I am not asexual, but I am also not as sexual as most people are, in the way that I am extremely horny, but I am not that into penetrative sex. I do, but just, it's not something that I am that into, and I am way more into, and stuff that gets me way hornier is stuff like Alana and Blake Griffin in this episode. I mean, not quite that. That was a lot more just, that was a lot more just like them just doing stuff while naked. But I mean, yeah, I would say that like demisexual, you know, that sort of like foreplay is always, I much prefer that to, and pleasing other people gets me hornier than having something done to me a lot of times. This is really weird to talk about, but it's relevant to the episode. And I'm very glad that Abby and Trey are finally getting together, and it seems like it's going to be the classic thing where Abby is ashamed of him, and then it's going to come out that she's been lying about it, and then Trey's going to be like, oh, you've been lying about me. Why have you been lying to me? I thought we were in a good relationship and all that. And that's going to be an interesting plotline, even though I can see where it's going, and maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe they'll do some twists. Maybe they'll do some deconstructions. Who knows? But even though I think that's probably where we're going to be going, I like that because of the two characters that we have and how much we have set them up first before getting into this. And I get why she wants to lie about Trey. Like, everybody in this show is good and bad, varying levels of it. A lot is probably the worst. That's an example by the club scene where she is being racist, and then she's like to Abby, like, what? Don't be a racist. The most Alana thing ever. And but with Trey, like, he is the quintessential himbo, but like, like, he's dumb, he is smart, he does respect women a hell of a lot, and he has that like it's a different kind of himbo that I've ever seen before. Like, it's not just that he is dumb, because he's not dumb. He is just I quote everything from movies and I make the lamest, like, the fact that he is like yeah, I'm really into art, my favorite artist is Picasso, but then I do have to just say a bunch of funny memes and references and do a bunch of impressions and stuff. It's cute, but it's also it's the cringy cute. I love it. It's like, he is, for being an adult, he has that like gremlin child energy. You know, he, like, I see it way more in like short characters that have the same energy he has, and it's so much more interesting seeing that like chaotically. I don't know how to place it, but just the chaotic energy he has in someone as extremely hot and tall and buff as he is. And like Abby says, having fucking pecs bigger than her boobs. Like, oh, Trey. Oh. Every time he takes his shirt off, too much. And again, Abby having the confidence here. Like, the fact that she went for this. Like, she never goes for anything, and she went for it. I'm glad to see her growing, you know, in that way that she clearly wants to be this. Not like a, you know, oh, I think that Abby needs to be this way. Abby wants to be this way, and I'm glad that she is able to, you know, be bringing this out through Trey. And he is good, like, you know, when everybody else is really shitty and that. And again, the cops say, like, boys are terrible. But Trey is not really, like, he does not fall into, like, the, you know, cis-normative, the cis heteronormative, like, male sort of shit. Which neither did Blake Griffin in this episode, to be fair. Like, they were both not that, which is, like, the opposite of what the, you know, cops are talking about. And I always appreciate a good cops are racist pieces of shit, all cops are bastards jokes. Of course, they're always great. But yeah, like going full, like having that conversation and then showing how these two characters are different. Not that I think that Blake Griffin's going to continue in this show, but I didn't recognize him at first, but I realized I've actually seen Blake Griffin in plenty of like comedy stuff. If I recall correctly, at least like one or two other things I have seen him in as Blake Griffin, you know, in a comedy show. So he must love doing this stuff. But so maybe he could possibly continue, but I don't expect that to. But yeah, I don't know, I just really like the throwing that on its head and showing, you know, how, you know, different these two guys are from the, again, like cis-normative, what you would expect, you know? Especially after everything that, you know, everybody they've normally pined for in the show have been complete fuckboys and everything. Like, it's not what you would expect, because it's not even like we haven't seen it many times before the show. But yes, Trey protecting, you know, with coming in with the bat and everything, the very, like, aggressive, clear. It's so, like, it does have that, like, you know, it has that, like, masculinity to it, but it's in such a goofball way that I love it. And it was good to get more Bevers, you know. We haven't gotten him at all this season, I think. Maybe, but I don't think we've seen him at all this season, so catching back up on that was good. And I will say, they got, you know, I came up with the whole, like, oh, the like, whoever gets these rooms from them are probably going to trash the rooms, and then, you know, the company is not going to pay for it, so that way they're going to have to be in debt and everything. But then, when we actually were showing them, I was like, oh no, these are just rich tourists, I trust this. And then it was not even like they wrecked the place, he straight up robbed her, he was, like, grifting her, he was manipulating her, getting that birthday to get into the safe and everything. Damn. God damn, really, that twist actually did work on me fully. And yeah, I enjoyed like the camping bit, and there was some, you know, the camping bit, the club bit, that sort of stuff was you know, very short bit there, just like sort of go from place A to place B, but they were enjoyable for what they were. And Lincoln, you know, and Lon's relationship, having this very open, not really polyamorous relationship, but just a very open relationship. Oh, I keep burping. I really appreciate that. I keep saying that over and over, but I love it. You don't get to see this shit in much shows, so I'm very glad when we get it. And yeah, for an entire episode that was about, like, Airbnb and everything, it was the perfect, like, you know, again, with them being the villains of the, especially with this in New York City, with Airbnb being a huge problem in big cities and everything, where people will, like landlords will, instead of renting out the actual buildings to people who can stay there, they will just keep them empty, except in the summer when some rich college kids can come down, or tourists can come down, or whatever, because you can pay a lot more for Airbnb than you can for, just renting a room, which is also why they paid so fucking much for it, $700 for just one night. Because yeah, they're willing to. There's always going to be somebody that's willing to. And so then you are renting out these rooms, and people are having parties and extremely loud shit going on in an apartment building. And I mean, that's not much of a problem in New York, but it's a bigger problem in other places where there is just an apartment building and it's not a city. These are more, suburban areas or whatever. And just the whole thing of Airbnb is basically completely illegal. Like they're not gonna cover you if your apartment gets trashed or whatever, because they don't care. They are so skeevy. Like it's this. I want to see more of these kind of episodes of the like an app comes out and everybody just thinks it is perfectly fine, like it is up to board and all that sort of stuff, and then it just goes horribly wrong. And like this is a good venue for that sort of thing. Like It's Always Sunny is a lot of like, oh, we've come up with a scheme and let's do that scheme, and like this show is a lot of that too, but I think I want to see more of the ones where it's focused towards more like modern stuff, more social media, and you can't call, I mean, everything is not social media, but you know what I'm saying. I don't really know what, like that sort of tech side of stuff. I'm interested to see more of the schemes based off of that sort of thing. Like the whole Rat Pack thing was also interesting. It's not like a modern, it's a more modern way, but it's not tech related. That sort of schemes I'm more interested in seeing in this show. But yeah, that's it for this episode. I will see you guys for the next one. Until then, get the fuck out of here.